Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, Come Sing a Song With Me, which is number 346 in the gray hymnal, and the lyrics are on the screen.
One of those mornings. I have actually been quite excited by this morning. I digress, but I don't have a headset on. But anyway, this place would be less beautiful without you. Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Jew, Hindu humanist, and earth-centered too.
This place would be less beautiful without you. Your heart honed by hardship, grief, illness, seeking solace and comfort here among us.
This place would be less beautiful without you. Filled with joy and gratitude, seeking celebration of life's bounty.
This place would be less beautiful without you. Curious, inquisitive, asking questions, seeking transformations emerging from within.
This place would be less beautiful without you, striving to resist a world that tells us we are so much less than we can truly be.
In the light of our chalice this morning, may we remember this place would be less beautiful without each of us, born here in this morning to seek heaven's fire in each other's souls, our flames rising to meet.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. We just keep it real here, right? Welcome to the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or ERUUF, as we like to say. My name is Reverend Jacqueline Brett, and whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, your gender identities, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey or in your search for truth, meaning, and liberation, we welcome you here in beloved community. If you are visiting with us for the first or perhaps even the second time, I invite you to rise in body or spirit so we might give you an ERUUF welcome. And if you're on the live stream, I invite you, if it's available to you, to put your name in the chat box and you will receive a welcome there as well. And so it is so good to have all of you here this morning. Just so you know, it's a reminder that today is a multi-generational service. And we've got pillows on the chancel floor, which means that the children will stay here in the sanctuary today. And also, for those of you who go to the Inquirers class, for visitors and newcomers, and all of you who are visiting with us are welcome to attend that class. It is on hiatus until May 26th, and then it will take place at 11:15, which is a new time that is directly after this service. And so all of you who are visiting, or if you want to learn a little bit more about this congregation, you're welcome to join us for the Inquirers series of classes. I have some notices, some things I need to remember to say. Next Sunday, May 19th, is our annual meeting, and the board invites everyone on campus to enjoy light refreshments directly after this service next week. And if you are a member, everybody's welcome to attend the annual meeting, but only members are allowed to vote on the pieces of business that come up. The annual meeting will start at 11:30. The event is multi-platform, and those of you wishing to participate online must register in advance by 12 noon on May 17th. So please take a look at the weekly e-news or the board news section at the bottom of our website to get more information on how to request an absentee ballot if you're not able to do any of those things, or to request childcare, and to register if you're going to be watching or participating in the annual meeting online. All the details about the agenda and items to review in advance of the meeting are there as well. So you got that? That was a lot, right? I said a lot. But in essence, we want you to be at the annual meeting. It's very important because we must have a quorum of 10% of the congregation in order for the meeting to take place. So we'll need about, how many would you say, Connie? 74 people here? About 74 people will need to be here for us to have that meeting. So either here and online for us to have that meeting. I have no doubts that we will have that, but just saying, in case you were thinking, well, I don't need to be there. Actually, you count a great deal. So Reverend Jim, if you would come forward. One of the things that happens with us in this congregation. As many of you know, roses are of great significance to us in our congregation. And not only do we give roses to our children when we're dedicating them to our graduating seniors, but we also give a rose and float a rose on the waters of life when we are when somebody from our congregation dies. And so we've had 2 people pass away in recent weeks. One person was Herb Reichlin, and the other person was Betty Pease. And so right now, we want to celebrate the light that they have been while they were here at ERUUF. And also float the petals of a rose on the waters of life. The life that they had here at ERUUF, as well as the life that they had in the world beyond ERUUF. And so let us all have a moment of silence as we reflect upon these beloved members of our congregation. Herb was a member here for 31 years, and Betty was a member here for just over 20 years, and they were both active here at ERUUF. And so let's just take a breath and have a moment of silence in their honor, as well as wishing their families comfort and peace in this time of grief. Spirit of life and love, we are glad for Herb and for Betty, and their many contributions that they have made to this community during their time here. We recognize that this community is always changed as people come in and as people leave. And so we hold in our hearts the memory of Betty and Herb, even if we did not know them, but just the sense that here are 2 people in our community who are no longer with us. We pray for their families, that they receive everything that they need in this time. May it be so. Amen and Ashe. Thank you. So this is Justice Sunday, the first Sunday of every month is. It is a full service. We have lots going on in this service today, everybody, but it is just this Sunday. And here to speak on behalf of our Reproductive Justice Action Group is Julie Welch.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day to everyone here. My name is Julie Welch, and I am here representing the Reproductive Justice Action Group, which we call RJAG for short, and I will be using that term for brevity. I want to explain to you what we are, how we work, and to encourage you all to get involved. At ERUUF, we formed RJAG in early 2023 after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the constitutional right to abortion. Shortly after that, the North Carolina legislature passed Senate Bill 20, which greatly restricted abortion access in North Carolina and created additional unnecessary barriers to access. Our name, Reproductive Justice, comes from a 30-year-old movement that encompasses more than just abortion rights. Reproductive justice means empowering families to live safe and healthy lives, ensure healthy pregnancies, and support all expressions of sexuality. The UUA has long supported reproductive and sexual justice and is deeply engaged now in reproductive justice. In time, we hope to expand our work to address the broader facets of reproductive justice, but for now, RJAG is focused on the immediate threat to reproductive health in North Carolina. We have joined forces with other like-minded organizations in the Triangle to build momentum and to expand the rights that we have lost. We know it's easy to feel helpless watching the state legislature dismantle our rights. But together we can find strength in community and fight for positive change, and ERUUF can provide a forum for that. RJAG works with several local organizations that provide education, training, and action to support and protect reproductive rights. An important partner with us is called Interfaith Voices for Reproductive Freedom. It's a coalition of congregations that formed around the same time as RJAG did. Through this partnership, we have built connections with other healthcare advocates, such as Planned Parenthood and the Carolina Abortion Fund. In addition to directly supporting women seeking abortion, we are focused on getting out the vote to elect legislators who support abortion and reproductive rights. And this is the fight that is before us right now. We have less than 6 months before the next election. RJAG's mission in this overlaps with another ERUUF action group that's called UU the Vote. And I want to point out that by working with UU the Vote, you are also supporting RJAG, so you're getting 2 for the price of 1. We urge you to commit today to take at least 1 action to support reproductive justice. And there's many things you can do. I'll list just a few. You can get involved with UU the Vote. Check out the ERUUF website for ideas. You can ask us about something called deep canvassing, which Planned Parenthood is sponsoring, and several of us in the congregation are doing this, learning how to have difficult conversations with others about abortion. You can sign up with another organization, youcanvote.org, to help educate and register voters. And if you have no time to volunteer, no worries. You can donate money directly to organizations like Carolina Abortion Fund and to candidates who are fighting for reproductive justice. So in closing, you can learn more and get involved by sending an email to reproductivejustice@eruuf.org today. Ask questions, and we'll help you get involved. And if you see me after the service, I have QR codes for you to click on and give you more information. Thank you.
So as I was saying, it's a full and momentous Sunday here at ERUUF. And so we're going to make a shift and a turn as we recognize an important moment in the life of our congregation and the lives of our graduating high school seniors with a ritual we call bridging. At this time, I'm going to call forth our bridging youth today, Annalise Chilton, child of Dave and Christy Chilton. Julia Jackson, child of Galen and Leela Jackson. Elsa Rawls, child of Amy and John Rawls.
Seniors, we know this community has played a role in many of your lives through childhood and adolescence. We are thankful now to be a part of this process of your crossing yet another threshold, a bridge into your young adulthood. Here at Eno River UU Fellowship, roses are important symbols to us as we set across the lifespan. When babies and children are dedicated, before we give them a rose, we take off all of the thorns, because that's our job, to protect and guide ERUUF's children.
And now, as bridging youth, again we give you roses, this time in recognition of all your time and learning and growth here at ERUUF, in classes, in coming of age, our whole lives, youth groups, and all the little conversations and exchanges that make up our lives. But now, as you can feel, right, we give you these roses with all their thorns because we believe in you and your ability to handle life's sharper, more complicated moments as they come to you in the future. We believe in you. We know that you've got this. We also know that you know that you're not alone. You can always ask for help from anyone here of any age at any time.
With these roses, we say goodbye to your childhood here, to your childhood here, not to you. And we say hello to your participation in Unitarian Universalism fully as an adult. So today we also have another gift for you. As I maneuver my free hands, we have a chalice for you made by ERUUFian Steve Crescenzo to remind you of the beautiful, bright light from ERUUF's own chalice. Many of us here have chalices at home that we light as a reminder of the support, comfort, and connection to our larger tradition and to each other. Wherever you go, whatever you do, may your chalice remind you that this congregation and our larger Unitarian Universalist tradition will always be here for you.
And so right now I invite everyone to rise in body or spirit as you are able and join me in saying the affirmation for our youth that appears on the screen. As you cross this bridge in time, know that we are with you. We believe in you. We celebrate you. We love you. We encourage you to become ever more your true self and to make a positive impact on the world. We hope you know wherever you go, you can always come home to ERUUF. Go in peace, go in faith, go in love, but don't go anywhere yet.
Please join us in singing to our youth, hymn number 1053, How Could Anyone? We'll sing it through twice, and the lyrics are on the screen.
How can anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could
And what a great time to turn and greet your neighbor.
As we enter this time of prayer, meditation, and contemplation, we're going to take a moment to be present with the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Ann Parker's words of simple meditation. I ask you to try and lean into these words. See if you can feel the care of them wash over you, whether it be ideas of love from humans, love from the energies around you, from nature, from creatures, or love from a source of the divine. So I'm going to say 4 lines here, and I want you to just repeat them after me. Let your eyes close, or ease if that's comfortable for you, and say this after me. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. I rest in this love. And we're feeling that loving energy, imagining where that love comes from around you. We extend that love out further. It's not the same as the Buddhist metta, but does have a similar expansive nature. So now, I welcome you to echo these 4 lines after me. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. So I imagine this love flowing around and through us. It is both real and aspirational. For who makes this love manifest? We do. In the care and support we give one another, in the simple and complex and systemic ways we aspire to make that love more felt in this space and in this world. Being present with that love, we hold, as we do each week, the joys and concerns that are present in this world, and also those in our ERUUF community that you have let be known to us through our Care at ERUUF email and our Joys and Concerns book at the back of the sanctuary. We hold the possibilities of life and joy and care for this planet that are always abound around us, those that are already here and happy, and also those possibilities that are waiting for us to fuel them with loving energy. May they be manifest soon. We also hold sorrow and challenges both in this community and beyond. We send loving energy to the family of Betty Pease, who died late last week. that her family may have as smooth a path of grief as possible. And we hold those in Durham and those in our global community in places such as Gaza and the Ukraine, where and when conflict arises and life is lost because of it. May we send energy for peaceful resolutions as we hope and act for loving outcomes. For the love we feel and rest in, for the love we make real and acted upon in this world, we give thanks. Amen and blessed be.
Your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Mountains in the distance, never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they were taken. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you time is a wheel in constant motion. Oh, I hope you rolling us along. I hope you do. What's a look back on their years and wonder? I hope you do. Where those years have gone. I hope you still smell full when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, dance, dance. I hope you dance.
Now it is the time for our smallest to our tallest young folks to come on down and join us here for a time for all ages. Since it is a multi-gen service, our order is a little scrambled and in a different shape. So our time for all ages is a little bit later. So join us. We might have a little pillow sharing. Well, hello. Good morning. Wonderful to see you. We have a story today about a community where people are taking care of themselves and sometimes taking care of others. So we're going to read about some of the people in this community. Welcome to Dream Street, the best street in the world. Just ask the people who live there. The houses and the dreams inside are different as thumbprints. The sidewalks are wide enough for huge chalk drawings and giant hopscotch boards. Children from all over the neighborhood come to play until the street lights go on. How many people have played until the street lights have gone on? Depending on the time of year, that may be a little bit earlier or a little bit later, right? Yusuf waits for his brother, Biko, at the corner of Humboldt Avenue and Dream Street. He's thinking about how Mom always says, "Don't leave the house without your crown." She likes to tell them stories about their ancestors, who are queens and kings with dreams that they never gave up on. Each morning, unless it's raining, Mr. Sidney reads the newspaper on his stoop, dressed to the nines. How many people have heard the phrase "to the nines" before? Some people of all ages. To the nine means very fancy. I don't know the origin of that. I'm going to have to look that up. Miss Sarah likes to say, "What's the nines?" A child will ask. Oh, Miss Sarah likes to say, he dresses to the nine. "What's the nines?" a child will ask, and Miss Sarah will answer, "Fancy, fancy." Mr. Sidney is a retired mail carrier living his dream of never having to wear a uniform again. He tips his big brown fedora and greets everyone with, "Don't wait to have a great day, create one." This picture is wonderful. Belle catches butterflies in a jar when they fly near Miss Sarah's bird bath, but she always lets them go before too long. How many people have ever caught butterflies? Mm-hmm. And it is the trick. You got trying to let them go. Let them go. Everything has a right to be free, she says, and every butterfly is different, just like snowflakes and people and dreams. Belle wants to become a scientist who studies butterflies. She says there's a special name for it. Does anybody know how to pronounce this name? What do you think? Lepidopterist? Lepidopterist? That's what lepidopterist? Okay, there we go. You know, it's sometimes I have to check because I'm a minister, not a scientist. I love the scientists, and I admit that I am not one. So I appreciate them very much, though. Azaria's house is next to the park. That girl can really jump some rope. She can do double dutch on one leg at a time. She can turn around and touch the ground. She can jump by herself with 2 ropes. She can even dance, jump, and dream of winning a shiny trophy one day, all at the same time. When she flies down the street, swinging her rope, she lifts her long brown legs as high as the sun. How many people have ever jumped rope before? How many people have double dutched before? How many people have won a rope jumping contest? Really? Oh, really? Okay. Oh, wow. What are the odds? Woo. Who knew? Excellent. Miss Sarah, also known as the Hat Lady, is Belle's great auntie. Her voice is only a whisper, but there are stories between the lines of her face that she'll share when you come close. She has lived on Dream Street longer than anyone, even longer than some of the trees. Watching children turn into grown-ups and listening to their dreams along the way. Has anybody ever met somebody like Miss Sarah, who would be a great auntie or very old, who might have these very old stories? They might be a relative. They might be just somebody you know. Yeah. Many people. Zion walks around the corner to the library to read skyscraper-tall piles of books that take him on adventures around the world. When the other kids talk or laugh, he tells them, "Because doesn't everyone know you are supposed to be quiet in there?" Some days, Miss Barbara, the librarian, hands him a brand new book and says softly, "I have a feeling this is your cup of tea." "Can boys be librarians?" Zion whispers to her, because it's his dream to become one. "Of course they can," she whispers back. He flashes a bright smile and continues his journey through the pages of the next book. Have you ever had someone tell you you could maybe be the thing you want to be? No? Maybe. Now see, this is interesting because these two characters are based on the people who made this book. Edie lives at the top of the hill and searches for treasures that others throw away. She collects smooth rocks, broken jewelry, leaves, and feathers, and adds them to her drawings of people on Dream Street. Meanwhile, her cousin Tari pays attention when new folks come around, so she can make up stories about them. In her notebook, she scribbles down the things she hears when they don't know she's listening. The cousins dream that someday they'll create a picture book together about everyone they meet and know on Dream Street, just like this book. The Phillips family has 5 boys: Dudley, Donald, Donardo, Dexter, and Duke, all named after jazz musicians. Those boys are more than a handful, some say, but the brothers know not to act up or show out. On Sundays before church, their daddy, Mr. Phillip, lines them up on the front porch for inspection, from hats down to shined shoes. He dreams of forming his own jazz band with the Phillips boys one day. Uh-oh, looks like little Duke forgot his bow tie. Has anybody ever said you were a handful? It's okay to be a handful. The community can still love you. The garden behind Desiree's house overflows with plants you don't see every day: purple lilies, red desert peas, and yellow passion flowers. Her magnolia trees smell like milk and honey and make your eyes feel heavy as if they want to close. Desiree's locks are so long she can wrap them around her shoulders like a shawl. Sometimes she and her grandbaby, Little Song, fall asleep together. Little Song makes sweet sounds in dreams, little girl dreams. How many people here have ever fallen asleep in the arms of a grandparent? How many people think maybe they did, but they can't remember? Maybe it was a long time ago. I think I did, but I can't remember it. Or you've been the grandparent who somebody has fallen asleep in the arms of. When she was small, Miss Paula loved to twirl on her tiptoes up and down Dream Street. How many people here have loved dancing? You don't have to, this is a secret, you don't have to like dancing. You don't have to be good at dancing to like dancing. There it is. How many people here like dancing? Okay. You don't have to be good at it. Now, Miss Paula is good at it. Now she teaches African dance at the rec center, her head wrapped round and round with bright fabric until it's high as a pyramid. Her feet move lightning fast, slap, slap, slapping and tap, tap, tapping the floor, keeping pace with the drummer's hands. Watch out! You might get dizzy if you stare too long. Sometimes when the rhythm takes hold, her wrap unravels and falls to the ground. She never stops moving, even as she stoops down to pick it up. Little Benjamin, who lives in the purple house next to the park, is tucked snugly into bed, but he doesn't want to go to sleep and dream. He might miss something important. How many people have ever not wanted to go to sleep because they might miss something important? Yeah, I get that. He hugs his teddy bear, Tyler, who isn't ready for sleep either. How many of you have had a teddy bear who is not ready for sleep either? I am the same. Instead, they count the stars that sparkle through the bedroom window and listen to laughter outside from the big kids who don't have to go to bed yet. The children who live and play on Dream Street can become whatever and whoever they want, because their dreams are nourished and cared for, just like Desiree's flowers. There is no need to worry or to rush. They take their time growing and playing, learning and living, and soaring skyward toward all the adventures that await them. And that's what we hope for you, that you will have this opportunity, like the children on Dream Street, to become whatever and whoever you want as we nourish and care for your dreams. And now I invite you to stay on the pillows if you would like, as Reverend Jacqueline, I think, is next.
So you can either stay on the pillows, or if you feel more comfortable going back to your grown-ups, that's okay as well. But I'm going to need your help with something, so it would be great if you hung out here a little bit. You know, I really appreciate that story. How many of you liked that story? Yeah, I really, really like that story as well. Not only does it remind me of the elders and some of the children I grew up with, it also brings back memories of how people form community, whether they are family members or not. How they become our chosen people and friends, or maybe they're just people whose presence we recognize whether we know them well or not. Because we notice at times when they're absent or when they're no longer here. It's one of the reasons we have ceremonies to mark important moments for people in the life of this community. It's why we dedicate our babies and young children, honor our adolescents as they come of age, and our graduating seniors as they prepare to move out into the larger world. We always miss our graduates when they leave. And I know that some of your parents worry and wonder if you'll ever come back to ERUUF. I do not worry about this. And the reason is because I've been so greatly inspired by some of our recent younger members who grew up Unitarian Universalists, but not here. They moved away from home and where they grew up, and they explored life. Then, when they were ready to find a community of faith, they sought us out. Is there anyone here right now who grew up Unitarian Universalist? Look at this. Yeah, and we have more. I'm sure that there are others, just because. Holly, did you? Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, so, you know, there's nothing to worry about. You know, the main thing is that our children, our young people will find their place somewhere. I hold deep hope and reassurance that as a community that is committed to our young people and cares deeply for them, that when the time comes to seek out a community of faith, we have equipped them well to make a good decision for themselves and perhaps at some point for their own families as well, though that's a long way off. You know, every now and then I notice that one of you adults is not here. And I think about you. In fact, when I see someone who I believe knows you well, I'll send a message your way. Please tell them Reverend Jacqueline says, "Where have you been on Sunday mornings?" Or when I see you return, I might say the same thing. Though some of you blush or appear surprised when I do this, know that it is all in good fun and caring. In many ways, it's how I remember my own roots and home training and pay homage to the communities I grew up within where folks were concerned when they didn't see you after a while. So just know that I see you and I care about you. And if I don't send a message to you, I still care about you. So much so that I literally in this moment can close my eyes and I know exactly where some of you are seated. I know that Dick Chady is over here. I know that Pam always sits over here. I know that actually a few rows back, 2 Pams sit over here, along with Violet. And let's see, who is there? There was another, oh gosh. I know exactly who I'm thinking about, but I can't get the word out. I know over here that Virginia and Redford are usually always over here. I know that farther back is Amy, and I saw Phil over here. I know that Diane Blount and Carol Ann, when they're here, they're all the way in the back, the second row from the back. I know that the 4th row up is Anne and Lisa. I know that, who else is over there? Beth and Peter. Is Peter with you today, Beth? I thought I saw him. Okay, and Barbara, I cheated. You get my drift. Oh, and over here, there's this crew that always sits over here and then complains that they can't hear. So, or see, it's okay. The Rawls family always sits over here, usually about 3 rows back. I know that Connie and Tanya, and when they have their kids with them, they sit back here as well. I know that Sarah and Julie sit over here too when they are here. They're not here today, I know that. But they are graduating. They have 2 children graduating from UNC. That's why they're not here. I know that too. Miss Joan is usually over here, but today she's over here. And there are more of you as well. So, you know, I have to also admit that when I don't see you sitting where you're supposed to be sitting, it actually throws me off. And I suddenly see you elsewhere, and I'm like, oh, there they are. I see Betsy. Oh, yeah, see, that threw me off. Sunny. And Sunny, you all usually sit over here in the first service. Oh, and look at the Harkerators. They're over there too, yes. So anyway, you know, I also know the sound of your laughter, Zilazinski, over here. I don't hear you. Or how some of you sit knitting or crocheting or with your eyes closed as you listen. And I can tell when you're sleeping and when you're just sitting with your eyes closed. Or how you lean forward as you listen or hold your heads down. You know, for me, it's almost like you're energetically anchoring the room. That's why I notice you, because and I've said this to some of you, that you are energetic anchors for me. I see you, and the energy of your presence matters not only to me, but it also matters for others as well. Know that. It's important to know that. And I also I sense the group of you who are doing pajama church or pajama fellowship on Sunday morning. And that's all right. It's a mixed blessing of the pandemic that you can watch from afar, for which I am grateful. And I also miss your physical presence, which is why we invite folks to type their names in the chat so that we can welcome you, because it all matters, not for the sake of attendance, but because we create this sacred container of community and of care together. We create beloved community together. I mention all of this because for the past several weeks, I have been processing the human rights trip to Poland that I participated in with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. I recognize that of all the things we experienced during that trip, and some were pretty intense, there were two things that impacted me the most. First was the reality of evil that I witnessed at the concentration camp at Auschwitz. And second was a commitment to community care held by the grassroots activists we met. I have a lot to say about these things, much of which I cannot share in the time we have today. However, I do want to clarify something important. And that is, when I spoke of this a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned the Polish activists held a notion of community care that was not about the self-care that we in the West hold. I jokingly mentioned how we were gently called out by one of the activists for our individualistic Western tendencies to focus on mani-pedis, yoga classes, and other means of pampering ourselves in the name of self-care. And someone here later shared with me their views about this. And it's with that in mind that I want to clarify what was meant by these activists. It's the intentionality with which we engage in acts of self-care. That when I am taking care of myself, I can do so with a perspective that is about me and me alone. Or I can do so with an intention and knowing that my care for myself contributes ultimately to the care of the communities and network of relationships of which I am a part. Whether it is my family, my friends, this community here, or other communities I participate within the world. And the same is true for you. An important aspect in caring for our communities is indeed about being responsible to the best of our abilities in caring for ourselves. So now it's your turn. Kids, are you interested in participating with me in something? I want you to come up here and help me to illustrate what I just spoke about, the importance of care. You go that side and I'll go this side. Do you want one? Okay. This one for you. For you. So here's what we're going to do. Everybody in this room was given a glass stone when you came in. Is there anyone who does not have one? If you don't have one, please raise your hand. Yes, take them out of your pockets. If you don't have one, just raise your hand. If you dropped yours on the floor. Okay. Okay, we have a couple of kids down here who also need a stone, who didn't receive one. Raise your hand high. Green, is that? Yes, raise your hand high. Just one. That way we make sure everybody has one. So kiddos, what I'd like you to do first is drop your stone in the cup that you have. And now let's have this group here come up. Can you stand up? And so what I'd like you to do is, you know how the greeters come by and collect the offering on Sunday? You too, you can come up too, if you want. I'd like you to go up this row and this area and collect the stones from everybody sitting in this area. Just pass your cups around and ask everyone, drop your stones in the cups. And then some of you right here, someone already dropped their stone on the floor. Raise your hand, we'll get you another one. Go up this way. And you can, yes, sweetie, you need a, okay, you can go up there and get it. Yes. Yes, drop your, you can, and then you'll have to come down on the other side. And someone's back there with yes, you have a dog, right? A safety dog, yeah. Okay, and for those of you sitting over here, the kids can't get on this side, so pass them down. And kids, when you have all the stones that you've collected, come forward again. Yes, that would be great. And you help them with that, and I'm going to speak after the kids. Anyone still holding a stone and has not given your stone to the kids? Okay, hold the stones very carefully in your cups. Okay, kiddos, here's the plan. Okay, here's the plan. I want you to now come to Reverend Jim and dump all of your stones into the water. So one of the people who influenced my decision to enter seminary was the Reverend Carol Sissel, who now serves at one of our congregations in Maryland. Carol shared an important lesson I've never forgotten, that she learned from another minister who shared it with her. And that is, we serve best when we serve from our saucer. Can open up so all the grown-ups can see. Let's let the grown-ups can see. So let's say that your individual stone represented you taking care of yourself. And so rather than walking off with your individual stone, you bring your individual care together with others who are here. The water spills over in excess as we bring our caring together. Do you have one to put in there? You can put yours in there too, all of them. You can put the ones in your cup. Yes, very good. So the goal is to keep our personal vessels well filled by caring for ourselves, and thus we intentionally cultivate enough to care for others. And of course, life gets messy, right? You all did a great job, by the way. Thank you. It doesn't always work as neatly as this, but keeping the metaphor in mind, it reminds us of one of our important values of interdependence as we, with intention, cultivate a community of care rather than burning ourselves out. And so, kids, you can go back, you can stay here if you want, or you can go back to your seats with your parents. Place them. You can stay if you'd like, it's fine. So I'm going to close with two last things. You can keep playing softly, I like it. As our children, if you want to, I'd love it. As our children return to their seats, I want to invite anyone here in this room who volunteered for RE today, if you would rise or raise your hand if you volunteered in RE this year. Rise in body or spirit, or raise your hand. Yes. Thank you so much. Your work is so important to this community. You know, we have a thriving ministry of RE here that serves about 150 children and youth. It currently takes about 40 to 45 volunteers each year to facilitate RE, to see that it happens. We had great groups this year and will need a good number of new people for next year when the new RE year starts. What we most need are folks who will be on teaching teams that will teach approximately 2 Sundays a month during the 11 a.m. service from September through May, with the month of December off. We ask for 2 Sundays a month so you can get to know the students and actually build a relationship. Groups include ages ranging from pre-K to 5th grade. Our middle school will be doing the Crossing Paths curriculum this year, which some of you might know as Neighboring Faiths. They will be visiting the congregations of other faith traditions throughout the year. We'll have a coming of age cohort as well this coming year, and youth groups. We will especially need volunteers with our youth for the coming year. And so though I know it is not completely possible, if everyone in this congregation would volunteer for 1 year of teaching once every 5 or 6 years, we would have more than enough volunteers to fulfill this need. We often, those of us in this room, we often want the children and youth to participate with us here in this space. Well, they also need us to go over to the care building and participate with them. That's right. So I hope you'll keep this in mind, and you can talk to Reverend Jim about how you might do that, or go over to the care building and sign up to participate in RE. It would start in September. There's also a training. You will be trained on how to do this in August. And so I have one last thing to share with you that I know some of you have been wondering about. And that is, what is up with all those ducks? And if you ran across little ducks in random places around campus and asked a member of staff about them, they likely didn't provide a direct answer. Or may have said, with a twinkle in their eyes, something like, "What ducks?" So here's what's up. Staff, including myself, placed ducks in random places all over this campus for the sole purpose of eliciting joy and delight, even if it seemed to be a bit of foolishness. I myself have run across ducks in all sorts of places. In my office, when I was not in the office, I've come back and found ducks in odd places, including one taped to my doorknob and Reverend Daniel's doorknob. And when I asked about it, someone said to me, "What duck?" There's also a duck here behind the chalice. There has been a duck up here. I don't see it now. It's probably somewhere else. But this has been delightful for us. So here's the invitation to you. As you leave, greeters will be at the exit door with baskets of little ducks. Enough for about one for each person in this room. And I invite you, if not today, then at some point, to find a random spot here on campus for your duck, as an exercise of community care and eliciting collective joy. There are 2 locations I ask that you not place a duck as a matter of safety. This is a matter of safety, and that's in the chapel where our youngest children tend to be, or in the nursery. So we just want to keep them safe. And so with that, may we elicit joy, may we elicit care. Amen, ashe, and let's make it so. I've been hearing the term Substack a lot, and I was like, what the heck is Substack? I'm learning new things. I'm just looking at this stack of pillows that the kids made, cleaning up the area. Thank you for those of you who stacked up the pillows. This is an ERUUF stack of pillows. So it takes a lot to build beloved community, to be together in this community. It takes our collective imagination, the overflow of our joy, our time, our talent, and even our treasure. And so it's with that if our greeters would come forward, we will take up this morning's offering. And if you don't have something to put in the offering pouch, you may point your device, open up your camera and point your device at the QR code, or you may take a card out of the pew rack. There's a QR code there, and it will lead you directly to our giving portal, and you are free to give there. And we can begin. Jacqueline.
What's your story? What's your plan? Where you going to? Where do you stand? In this moment, take a chance. Feel the light shine down. Live your life out loud. You can dance. Hear the laughter in the air. Let your voice be heard. If you dare, take the high road to your dreams. Let the world see how life could be right now. Come with me. One step towards the edge. What will happen next? Every moment tells the story of our life. What would happen if we tried? Could we spread our wings and learn to fly? And together we could see that the world is ours. We can shine like stars. We can dream. Oh, we can dream. We can dream. We can dream.
And that was beautiful. And Pam and Jocelyn, that's why Jocelyn and John are usually sitting over there. So it threw me off. Anyway, I care about you all. Thank you so much for being here, being part of this community, for all the ways you make contributions here, for all of the gifts of this community. And so Wendy will now lead us in our closing hymn.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 1020, Wo Ya Ya, in the teal hymnal, and the lyrics will be on the screen. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya, wo ya ya ya, wo ya ya ya, wo ya ya ya, wo ya ya ya,
Our closing words today are from this amazing book of poetry that I had worked with our poetry class on, called Poetry of Presence. And I hope I can see it because I don't have glasses and I didn't put it in my words today. It's called Belonging, from Rosemary Watola Trauma. And if it's true, we are not alone. We are alone together. If it's true we are alone together. The way blades of grass are alone but exist as a field. Sometimes I feel it, the green fuse that ignites us, the wild thrum that unites us, an inner hum that reminds us of our shared humanity. Just as 35 trillion red blood cells join in one body to become one blood. Alone as we are, our small voices weave into one big conversation. Our actions are essential to the one infinite story of what it is to be alive. When we feel alone, we belong to the grand communion of those who sometimes feel alone. We are dust, the dust that hopes, a rising of dust, a thrill of dust, the dust that dances in the light with all the other dust, the dust that makes the world. May it be so, my friends. Go in peace, go in love. Amen and Ashe.